Well, let's move on to something equally as sad. Grim animated video of the submarine's last moments.
Yikes.
Talk about a horror film. Holy shit.
Massively. So we actually touched on this when it all happened, when it was kind of confirmed. So again, this is the live podcast. We do many different things here, so it's not just movies, etc. But yeah, we touched on this when it happened. I mean, this is just I mean, it's awful. It's awful. So, Andre, you had a bit more. I don't know if it says it in this. In this article, but what was the update that you had on what actually happened?
Well, what I heard, apparently there has been a leak. Now I do not know the validity of this leak, but what apparently leaked was the communications log between this submersible
leaked
and the ground station, basically. And what it shows, because like as you can see from this video right here, is like when the implosion happens, it happens instantly, and there's no real pain or anything like that. So the question is, how far in advance did they know that this thing was going to implode? Were they enjoying everything and the thing was just fantastic, and then boom, they're all dead without knowing whatever hit them? Because then at least there's no pain, there's no fear or anything like that. Or was there a period of time when they were cramped into this tiny little space knowing they were going to die? And if this released log, not released, but this leaked, alleged log is real.
Is the pun intended?
Are you intentionally making a pun there, buddy?
Not intentionally. But
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh.
But if that leak thing is legit, then there was 20 minutes, more than 20 minutes, in which they knew they were going to die between 1 second from now and the next half hour.
Well, you said it was even kind of worse than that, Andre, because you said it wasn't so much like they knew they had 20 minutes. Like you said, no, it was kind of like they knew any time between now and the next 30 minutes.
Anytime,
you don't know it could happen any time here. So you got all
between now and the next second.
God, that's got to be horrifying, and I feel bad for them guys. But
because apparently there were these alarms even in the hull that would start blaring when it could detect that the stress here is actually becoming so bad it's detectable, and those were apparently the alarms that went off. And you could tell that because that's when the really desperate messages starting to get up about, we're getting these kinds of results here and these kind of warnings. And then
look at them.
See now, Andre, if that's true, that tells me that it's even kind of worse than that. That means that the only one who was probably really aware of it was the one captain dude or whatever you call him.
He must have panicked and told everyone else.
I wonder if he did or not. Yeah, I was going to say, because that's what I was asking.
Every single time Control asked for an update, it was longer and longer before they got that update, and it seemed more and more desperate with more and more spelling mistakes, shorter and less formal, until suddenly they stopped replying, and that's when the implosion happened. Presumably, based on that, it would appear to have been some level of panic going on in that submersible. Because basically, this kind of alarm, it's like, you're going to die now. There's nothing you can do because this thing is going to implode inside of minutes. Because if it wasn't, this alarm isn't going to go off.
God damn.
Wow.
I mean, that's just brutal, isn't it?
That's grim, yeah.
Yeah, that who was it? Didn't they have somebody on the board that was sending emails talking about safety concerns for a while?
Oh, you had a bunch of people.
Yeah, and Cameron came out and blew it out of the water. He was like, "Yeah, this was a big mistake."
Well, they also hired an ex military guy, an engineer, and he was like, "No, I'm not signing this off. This is."
Yeah, Cameron was kind of talking smack about him too in so many words. He was like, because he was even saying how unprofessional they were in certain aspects and certain ways. Because he had said he'd done how many dives, Andre?
Hundreds. He must
I was
have.
gonna say hundreds, if not several dozen,
Yeah.
to where
Well,
he
there's
was
this
like,
here.
yeah.
As previously reported, the use of carbon fiber was not supported by David Lockridge, the former director of marine operations at OceanGate until 2018. In an email sent shortly before being fired by late OceanGate CEO Stockton Rush, Lockridge wrote that he had numerous worries with the Titan sub after inspecting it. Lockridge had been relentless in voicing his concerns about the carbon fiber pressure chamber, reinforcing the fact that the material was not something previously used in any other deep ocean sub, and as a result, it hadn't been heavily tested. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that's a bit of a problem there, because I remember Paul was talking about on our show about how massively stupid it was to use the fiber,
carbon fiber is strong,
but
not
it
that strong.
doesn't flex the
It's
way
light.
that it doesn't flex the way that you need it to underwater, though. He was explaining under those kind of pressures, it basically splinters from what he said. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's just fiber. So
Yeah.
all it is hard fiber with a resin coat. That's carbon
Also,
fiber.
apparently, carbon fiber, that's great for fuselages and stuff like that, where you want to keep pressure in and there's lower pressure on the outside. But it's not ideal for the reverse situation where the pressure is on the outside and you want to retain a lower pressure inside, which is what you want in anything that goes underwater, as opposed to anything that goes up in the air.
Yeah, dear oh dear. Well, there you go. A nice cheery topic to
end on. Well done.
To sort of round out. Lovely.
Way to send us off smiling. Yeah.
Well, like I think Andre's leak pun was cracking me right up, and culture. So you did like that, ladies and gents.
I got to laugh.
Yeah, well, yeah, true.